You're listening to Lace Up with your host, VJ Johnson II. Grab your tennis shoes, get your cleats, because it's time to lace up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lace Up. I'm your host, VJ Johnson II, ready to give you the latest, hottest news and updates in the world of sports. I appreciate everybody jumping in and joining the podcast and giving me a little bit of your time to talk some good, healthy sports talk as always. Look, I know what y'all are going to say. I know what you're thinking. I know it's been a while. Look, had a lot going on, y'all. But I started a new job. Things have been going really well. So I've been, pretty busy with that. So excited to, bring that new update to you guys. But, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything is going great in each and every single one of you guys' lives right now. Look, I hope you're enjoying this weather, man. We are finally out of that winter weather, man, and transitioning into some nice, warm, spring weather. I'm not too excited about the pollen, obviously, but it's nice to have some warm weather finally. I know this is that time, obviously with the weather changing, people, kind of start to get sick and stuff like that. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself, man. And look, just being aware that we're not in the summer, so we still gotta make sure we're checking the weather, because it is a little cooler at night still, but it is a good thing to see that sun has been shining throughout the day and everything like that. Look, don't forget, y'all. I'll remind you about this at the end of the show too. But daylight savings time, man, is coming up. I want to say on Sunday. This upcoming Sunday. So it's usually like 2 a.m. or something like that. So excited about that, man. That means that, it obviously, spring forward, meaning it'll be lighter later. So that's the time of year I like as well. But with that being said, you guys, we got quite a bit of things to catch up on, man. It's been, a lot of stuff that has happened since we last spoke. I know, obviously, Seahawks won the Super Bowl, that knew that. I think I called that on one of the like the last show that we talked about with the when I was covering the Super Bowl leading up to that. But knew the Seahawks were gonna win that, and it was a dominant performance by them. But nothing, not a whole lot to say there. Obviously, that's in the past. But just wanted to come on and let you guys know that, look, I already knew the Seahawks were going to win. I think the world outside of the Patriots fans pretty much knew the Seahawks were going to win that Super Bowl. But yeah, and what I want to do now is just kind of cover, what's been going on post NFL season. Obviously, we have the combine that just happened. We have the new league year that in the NFL that's getting ready to start coming up next week. I think on Monday. You got free agency is coming up as well. You have the NFL draft that's coming up. Obviously, before that, you got players that are taking their top 30 visits to the different NFL organizations that are potentially interested in drafting them. You also have pro days that are going to be taking place for those players that did not, condition or do any of the drills at the combine. Which is, obviously become, more prevalent as the years have gone by for, star players or high prospects to skip out on the combine and, have a pro day on their school's campus where NFL scouts can come out to see them. But with that being said, man, let's kick into the latest buzz and everything that's been going on, and some news that has been that just came out this week and even today. So excited to jump in. But first and foremost, I can't start this show off without mentioning Lou Holtz, so Hall of Famer, former football coach, college football coach Lou Holtz. He is, passed away at the age of 89. And, he actually led, for everybody, all you all who know, He led Notre Dame to a national championship, obviously in 1988, and obviously had a great reputation as a master at rebuilding programs. He's done that, quite time and time again throughout his tenure as a head coach. This was reported on Wednesday by his family. They did release a statement, but he did pass away in Orlando, Florida, where he was surrounded by family. Now, in the statement, they did not release his cause of death or anything like that, but they did release a pretty long statement. His son Skip actually had posted on social media saying that he was successful, but more important, he was significant, right? And I think that those are short statement, but a powerful statement, because Lou Holtz was, successful and significant, right? And when you talk about leaving a legacy and leaving, just your stamp and your name on something, man, Lou Holtz was the epitome of that, and he did just that. Current head coach of Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, even mentioned the fact that Lou Holtz was a mentor to him. He had great support, obviously, and gave him some pointers. Being that obviously they had a Notre Dame connection, and he did praise the values that Holtz emphasized to him, which were love, trust, and commitment. So obviously he has a long standing impact at Notre Dame, and Coach Freeman said that obviously it's gone beyond just the football field, right? Now, Lou Holtz, he had a 249, 132, and 7 record over his head coaching career with 6 schools. So he spent time at William and Mary, North Carolina State, NC State, Arkansas, Minnesota, Notre Dame, and South Carolina. He also coached the New York Jets for the 1976 season as well. Now, after retiring, Holtz did go on to work in television, as we all know. He spent more than a decade with ESPN, and just to speak on his different his just to speak on his career, right, from player to coach to the man that he became, the Hall of Famer, the legend. Just wanted to run down some different points, just to highlight accomplishments and his tenure, right? So he played linebacker at Kent State. He had a 33-year coaching career, so that is long coaching career. That's awesome. Again, I did mention his record already: 249, 132, and 7. All at those 6 schools I had mentioned earlier. He was 12th on FBS all-time wins list, which is at least a minimum of 10 FBS seasons. He has 130-2 record at Notre Dame, which makes him the 3rd winningest coach in Notre Dame history. Again, he coached at William and Mary from 69 to 71, NC State from 72 to 75, and I'm saying 1972 to 75, Arkansas 1977 to 1983. He was at Minnesota from 1984 to 1985, Notre Dame from 1986 all the way up into 96, and South Carolina from 1999 to 2004. Again, coached New York Jets. He won 1988 national championship. He was the coach of the year, the FWAA coach of the year in Arkansas in 1977 and 1988. He's the 3rd winningest coach in Arkansas history. So not only in Notre Dame, he's also the 3rd winningest coach in Arkansas history. He was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2008. He was the ESPN college football analyst from 2005 to 2015. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2020. So look, just wanted to go down and again highlight his career, his accomplishments as a as a player, a coach, and an analyst on ESPN. So again, rest in peace to Lou Holtz, man. Thank you for obviously what you have given to the game and the dedication and the time and the impact, right? Most importantly, the impact on and off the field, man. So thoughts and prayers go out to Lou Holtz, his family, his friends, his loved ones. But what a great, life that he lived in. And again, what a great impact that he had in many young men's lives and grown men's lives as well. With that being said, wanted to transition and talk about some buzz that has been going on in the NFL. Because again, a lot has happened and a lot more to come. Players being traded, players being released, all all things, right? All the things. But just wanted to highlight a few things that have happened. Some big, obviously, big things that have happened just this week and leading into this week. So first and foremost, Chicago Bears Pro Bowl center Drew Dalman announced his retirement from the NFL, just 27 years old. So this one, obviously hurt the Bears fan base and me, obviously, as well, being a diehard Bears fan that I am. And really because we finally in Chicago had gotten the the offensive line together, right? We finally had gotten some continuity. We finally, after so long of searching for a center and in an offensive tackle, we finally got that in place, and this happens, right? And so this is a big blow, obviously, with Drew Dalman and Caleb Williams had the connection that they had, obviously, and the center is one of the most, if not the most important, position on the offensive line. Obviously they're communicating with the quarterback, right? And that's a big blow. Obviously, no shade or no hate to Drew Dalman. It is frustrating that he decided to do this, but you understand it. He's coming from an NFL background. His dad, obviously, he's played in the NFL, so he's seen firsthand, the aftermath of the NFL. So he mentioned even in his opening presser when he was announced as a Chicago Bear last year that, he wanted to play and lead the game on his terms. I just thought that, signing a 3-year deal, he would have at least given us 2 years. But again, no shade, no hate. It is frustrating. It sucks. But you can't be mad at a player for prioritizing their health. So with that being said, obviously the Bears are going to be in search for a center, heading into free agency and things like that. But there are some names that jumped out. Number one on my list, obviously, is Trey Linderbaum, who's a guy that's young, out of Baltimore. He's going to be a free agent. He obviously is going to be looking to get paid, and he's the top center target. There's also Biadaz out from the Commanders as well, but I think Trey Linderbaum is the guy that I'm wanting the Bears to go after and hope that they act quickly and go ahead and bring him in so that he can start immediately getting to work with Caleb. So that's some Bears news. Obviously, there's some more Bears news I have to report, but just to start off with that. Secondly, man, let's talk about the Eagles, right? Because there's been a lot of buzz and a lot of talk about whether they are or not, whether or not they're going to trade AJ Brown, right? And so, biggest question here is, should they do it? I personally think they should. I mean, I've been saying this since the season last year, right? That something's obviously off. We all, and that's not just me saying that. Everybody can see it, clear as day. You had AJ Brown had a few games where, obviously he had over 100 receiving yards and multiple touchdowns and was balling. But 80% of the season, if not more than that, his touches, the production, just the connection between him and Jalen Hurts has just not been there, right? not consistent, just has not gelled, right? It's not worked. And obviously they won the Super Bowl. Um, you know, uh, Obviously the year before last because this year happened, but um, they won a Super Bowl, and even in that Super Bowl run, it was still kind of, it was up and down. It was iffy, right? With him getting his touches, and I just think that the writing is on the wall in Philadelphia when it comes to AJ Brown. I just don't think that, you know, it's working out. Not saying that he has a dislike for Jalen Hurts or anything like that, but I think that it's just one of those things where he just doesn't the 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 type of quarterback that he needs is and to get the type of touches that he needs is just not uh, what Jalen or who Jalen Hurts is, right? And I love Jalen. Obviously, he's an Alabama guy. I don't care what y'all say at Oklahoma. He spent 1 year there, right? But you know, he's just not the type of guy that AJ Brown is gonna look for when it comes to him being able to be involved in the offense, just simply because the Eagle style of offense, right? It's their offense is run really, really and truly through their tight end because Dallas Goedert gets more touches than any receiver. And obviously, you got Saquon Barkley. They run the ball a lot, um, and you got Smitty there, but majority of the touches and targets are going to their tight end, right? And then it's tight end, and then it's everywhere else after that. So I just don't think that's the right offense for AJ Brown. Now the Bills were a team that let's talk about who were the best fit. Now there were some team names that had popped up. The Bills were one of the ones that had popped up as the top target for AJ Brown, but obviously things have changed, and I'll tell you why when it comes to that. Other teams that have come up and popped up are the Patriots, especially with them releasing Stephon Diggs. That news broke this week as well. Just yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or the day before yesterday, that they would be releasing Stephon Diggs. And so now the Patriots are, not saying that Stephon Diggs is their number one receiver, because I still don't think he was necessarily wide receiver one. With him being, especially with him being 33 years old. But they're in need of a true number one wide receiver, right? And so the Patriots are a team that come to mind. You look at the Baltimore Ravens is another team that comes to mind, right? I think Zay Flowers is a guy that, if I'm not mistaken, will become a free agent. If I'm not mistaken, he's supposed to be a free agent coming up. And I'll fact check that. But Lamar Jackson in need of a guy, a true number one receiver, right? Then you also look at the Broncos. The Broncos are another place that I saw pop up, which is intriguing. You got Bo Nix there. The type of offense they run, they spread the ball out. So that was an interesting team that I saw that popped up. But if I'm looking at all this, like I would love to see AJ Brown in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. I mean, give Lamar Jackson a legit, big body receiver, a weapon, right? In addition to the tight ends that he has, and especially with that running game, I think that would be a good fit. Obviously, New England would be a good fit for him, but I want Lamar Jackson, to be able to get a guy like AJ Brown. I think that would be real dope to see. And again, I think their asking price for AJ Brown is going to be, a lot, especially what happened with the Bills. That price is going to go up, right, when it comes to AJ Brown. And we'll see, right? I just think that at this point in time, I think that the Eagles obviously know that AJ Brown wants out. I think I personally believe that they know AJ Brown wants out, but they also wanting to protect their organization. They're going to want to get as much capital as they can back for a guy like AJ Brown. So being that that's the case, we'll see what compensation they're able to get. We'll see, if the Eagles do move him, coming up, right? Either tomorrow or either today, either tomorrow, sometime over the weekend, whatever it may be next week. We'll see what happens, right? So that's the news with AJ Brown, but I do think that they should trade him. Other news, the Cincinnati Bengals, they do not place a franchise tag on Trey Hendrickson, their Pro Bowl defensive end. So he is officially going to become a free agent, unrestricted free agent, meaning he can sign anywhere, which is very interesting that the Bengals are deciding to let Trey Hendrickson walk. I was shocked at that. I thought that they would at least tag him and try to trade him. But, you never know, what's going through these GMs' heads nowadays. But the Bears, obviously a team in need of a pass rush, is a name, a team that has popped up. I also saw the Tampa Bay Bucks is another team that could be targeting Trey Hendrickson. Obviously would love this move by my Bears if we can't get Maxx Crosby, obviously, and I'll talk about that more in just a little bit. But obviously, again, Maxx Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, two guys that are the biggest names and buzz that is surrounding both of these guys. So that was surprising that the Bengals didn't tag him. Another news, there was a huge blockbuster trade between the Rams and the Chiefs that happened, where the Rams made, again, a blockbuster trade for all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie. The Chiefs are going to get a 2026 first-round pick, so this year's 29th overall. They're going to get a 2026 fifth and sixth-round pick and a 2027 third-round pick. So 4 picks for all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie. And, obviously, that's a big move. The Rams are a team that have traded away their first-round picks, I think, the last, 5+ seasons, even more than that. And so definitely interested to see, what's next for them and, what this, how this will make their defense look. Obviously, it's a huge upgrade at the cornerback position. But I want everybody to pump the brakes because everybody, and I saw Adam Schefter, I saw a lot of people, some other people saying, hey, the last time they made a big trade like this, they went to the Super Bowl, and this year the Super Bowl is going to be in SoFi Stadium. So, this could mean that the Rams are going back to the Super Bowl because they did the last time it was hosted at SoFi. I think everybody got, let's pump the brakes. That this does not mean that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Now they're going to be obviously going to the playoffs. If something crazy doesn't happen, obviously I see the Rams being in the playoffs again. But this doesn't mean they're going to the playoffs. So everybody just pump the brakes, okay? Just pump the brakes. Just pump the brakes. But again, that's neither here nor there. Good move, right? I mean, that's a lot to give up, but hey, I'm not the GM. Now let's talk about some other news that came out of Chicago. So, before I do that, before I get into that, you are listening to the Lace Up Sports Talk Show right here on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Audio Boom. And you're also watching and streaming here on YouTube. If you can, either on one of these platforms I just mentioned, like, comment, subscribe, share. Make sure that you, again, subscribe so that you can be notified when episodes are posted, whenever I go live. And also, please engage. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if there's something that you want me to talk about on the next episode. I'm more than happy to incorporate that into the outline and for the discussion. But again, I appreciate everybody rocking with me and being patient with me and continuing to show the love and support. And so again, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Y'all tune in. With that, to jump back into it, man. Again, some big things, other big news that came out of Chicago. DJ Moore was traded to the Buffalo Bills. Now, not only was DJ Moore traded to the Buffalo Bills, but in a shocking return for DJ Moore, the Bears are going to get a 2026 second round pick, which is insane because when I tell you guys about the money that's involved, you'll be shocked too if you hadn't already seen kind of the details of this trade. I was expecting, the Bears to get maybe a third, in between like a third and a fifth round pick, something like that. Maybe honestly, realistically, like a fourth round pick for DJ Moore, but they didn't. They ended up getting a second round pick from Buffalo, which is outstanding, right? Now the Bills are going to take on DJ Moore's salary, which is $24.5 million a year for 2026, and the Bears are going to free up. They freed up $16.5 million in cap space, right? Now, obviously, DJ was a great, great team player, great for the Bears organization, a stand-up guy, very involved and active in the community, just great in the locker room, right? Especially in a time where the Bears really needed a spark, needed something offensively, to help, Justin Fields at the time. And I just remember, when the Bears traded away that number one pick to Carolina, and I remember seeing the picks that were involved and seeing DJ Moore's name pop up in what we got in return for that pick. And I just remember how excited and hype I was, just because, DJ Moore he's just that dude, man. And, obviously, definitely meant a lot, to the Bears. But, in reality, he did have his least most productive year in Chicago statistically since he's been there, right? He had only 682 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Again, that's his least most productive year statistically that he's been in Chicago. And I think he started all the games this year. But, a lot of that had, to do with the emergence of Luther Burden. You got Rome Odunze. You got Colston Loveland, other weapons that have been added, right? And so just hard for him to really find like that, that fit in between all of that to still be as productive. Now, he obviously made a lot of plays for the Bears. I think that, this is a tough move. It's a bittersweet thing, but at the end of the day, it's a business decision. So I want all my Bears fans that are, feeling a way about it, just to relax, calm down, take a breath. We'll forever remember what DJ did in Chicago, and that last play, in the divisional round playoffs against the Rams. I'm not going to choose to remember him by that, even though I know, and I feel, still sticking to the fact that I think he should have given some more effort on that play. And, there have been times where he has taken plays off and has not necessarily, run full speed and given the best effort, right? Which is something that you don't want. But I'm not going to remember him by that. I'm going to remember him as the guy who, scored a walk-off touchdown, caught a walk-off touchdown pass from Caleb Williams to knock off the Packers in a comeback win in overtime, right? I'm going to choose to remember him as a guy who then a few weeks later scored and caught a touchdown, a go-ahead touchdown in another comeback against the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round in the playoffs, right? Just a few weeks later. So 2 daggers to Green Bay's hearts involving DJ Moore. That's what I'm going to choose to remember him by. And I think that that's what the fan base is going to remember him by. So, big shout out to Poles for doing right by DJ Moore as he does with all his players. One thing I'll say about Ryan Poles is he takes care of his players. He pairs DJ Moore back up with Joe Brady, a guy who he has familiarity with. I think it being at Carolina, and so that'll be a legit contender that DJ Moore can play for in a legit offense. So it's a win-win situation for DJ Moore and for the Bears. And next up, the Bears just last night released Tremaine Edmunds, right? So this news was no surprise. Now Tremaine Edmunds was last Wednesday. He was granted permission to seek a trade, to find a trade partner. Obviously, him and his agent were unable to do that, and I think that was partly because of his contract that he had with Chicago, which is the reason why. And teams knew that he was going to be cut anyway, so why would they trade for him if they knew he was going to get cut? I think that was some buzz that went out, and so that information leaks. Owners are not going to jump at the opportunity to trade for somebody when they know that they're going to be cut regardless, due to the need to save cap space, right? And so Edmunds, he's been a full-time starter each of his 8 years in the NFL. He's a free agent. He has 900 tackles total in his career. And the Bears, again, creating some more cap space. They create $15 million in addition to what they did with DJ Moore with this release, right? And so just to catch you guys up on the Bears' new cap space, so between the trade of DJ Moore, the release of Tremaine Edmunds, and Drew Dalman retiring because they still get to recoup some of that money from his contract with him retiring before his 3-year deal was up. He signed a 3-year deal and retired in 1 year, after 1 year. So after all those three things, the Bears have now cleared $44 million in cap space as of this week, right? Great news if you're a Bears fan, obviously, and you want to be excited about this, because you think about this, and the Bears went into the offseason under the cap, right? And just the surprise retiring, that was something that they didn't obviously prep and plan for. But that gave them some more cap money. The trade with DJ got them some more cap money and a second-round pick. And then you get the Tremaine, being released, and you add some more cap space there. And, there's a potential that the NFL could grant and should grant the Bears a third-round pick, because the Falcons hired the assistant GM, Ian Cunningham, who is now their GM in Atlanta, which the Bears should be getting a third-round pick back from that. So I don't know what the league is waiting on, but they need to give us our pick and stop playing games. But we did go ahead and file an appeal, with the league to get that handled. So, definitely looking forward to seeing what the league does, but they need to do the right thing. And again, give us our pick, please and thank you. But with that, let's talk about Maxx Crosby, right? Because Maxx Crosby is like the biggest name right now that is being talked about in the NFL from a trade buzz perspective. Now the Raiders, interesting enough, have held, and they've been adamant, leading up until this week, that they were not looking to trade Maxx Crosby, right? They've been saying this time and time again. But as of this week, even leading into the combine, I would say as of last week, leading into this week, they started to be open to listening to potential trade offers for Maxx Crosby, right? So they went from, we're not going to trade him, to, hey, we're going to listen to see what would be offered out there, right? And so teams have continued to call and check on Maxx Crosby, right? And what potential deals could be put in place to land him. And the Raiders have listened, okay? Now the Cowboys are a team that has come up. I think the Eagles were a team that they said has come up. Uh, but most importantly, because forget the Cowboys and the Eagles, respectfully, the Bears are a team that have been in the conversation on the phones speaking to the Raiders about Maxx Crosby. Again, I said this before. Uh, the Bears are in dire need for a pass rush right now. The rumored asking price for Maxx Crosby is 2 first-round picks and a player, right? That is the rumored asking price. I don't think that they will necessarily get that, but we will see. Um, but the Bears are the best fit. If you want to ask me who the best fit is for Maxx Crosby, I think it's the Bears. He already has a relationship with Caleb Williams. They were kicking back and chilling on Maxx Crosby's podcast just a couple weeks ago. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Even Maxx Crosby, has time and time again has said great things about Caleb Williams. He even told him that the scary thing about it is he doesn't know how great he's going to be. And he wants to play on the Chicago Bears team. He wants to be a part of this defense, man. I'm telling y'all. Now, again, for all my Bears fans are like, oh, I don't want to give up 2 first-round picks. Listen, again, we are in desperate need of a pass rush. We have the cap space to make it happen. Obviously, we got to go get a center, but I think Linderbaum is a center we can get, and we still have the opportunity to be able to make this Crosby deal happen. You get Crosby on your defense, you are instant serious contenders for the Super Bowl. You just are. There's no sugarcoating that, right? The Super Bowl window is open. You got to go all in. Go all in. Go get Maxx Crosby. Pair him up with Montez Sweat, and I'm telling you, I am telling you, that is dangerous. And to get a little bit more speed, in that linebacker position, we, get a replacement for Tremaine Edmunds. We already got TJ Edwards, so you get a quicker linebacker that actually cover in space, and can really evolve in Dennis Allen's defense. You get that, it's scary hours, man, for the league. I'm trying to tell y'all. So forget those first round picks. I would give this year's first round pick and 2028 first round pick or whatever. And I would give a player if they're looking for a player, right? I don't know what player I would give up, but I thought Tremaine would have been a player I would have included because the Raiders, that was another team I forgot to mention that were, the Raiders were a team that were looking at Edmonds. So I would have tried to package him or even package DJ Moore in that trade. But at the end of the day, I still think that there's a possibility that the Bears could do this year's first round pick, so the 25th pick, this year's second round pick, and maybe another pick, right? Another first, maybe 2 first and or a first, a second, and a player. We'll see. I think a first, a second, and maybe a player could do it, but again, we'll see. I just think Maxx Crosby coming off that meniscus tear. I don't think that they're going to get 2 firsts for him. But if the Bears did it and they pulled it off, I wouldn't be mad about that. Who's going to be mad about it? People get so caught up in these, the first round picks in the future. You don't know what those first round picks are going to be. The Bears are not going to be so bad to the point that they're going to be picking in the top 5 or 10, right? So they're going to be low first round picks. Everybody calm down. I swear it's okay. You got to go all in. We have Ben Johnson. Players want to come play for Ben Johnson. I'm telling y'all, we are good. So if I'm the Bears, if I'm Ryan Poles, man, I'm putting a package together and saying, look, let's get this thing done, man. Crosby doesn't want to be there anymore. He hasn't publicly come out and said that, look, I want to play and I want to stay for this team, stay and play in Vegas. He's been real chill and calm and collected about it, right? So we know what Crosby wants, and he wants out of Vegas, man. It's time to get on a team where he can compete. So again, let's make this thing happen, y'all. Let's get it. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about want to shift gears and talk about college basketball, and talk about the college who I think is the college basketball freshman of the year. But before that, again, you are listening to the Lace Up Sports Talk podcast right here on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Audio Boom. And you're also looking at it and streaming here on YouTube. Again, please like, comment, subscribe so that you can be notified and up to date on when I go live, when episodes are posted. And make sure you comment, in the section. Leave your thoughts, leave your opinions, love any feedback, anything that you guys would love to share. Please do that. Or you can even reach out to me directly for those of you who have my contact information. But and you can also, follow the Instagram page at Lace Up Sports Talk. You can find that there on Instagram as well. And again, I appreciate the love, the support, and everybody sticking and being patient with me and rocking with me. With that being said, let's kick into things because there are a few candidates that are up for Freshman of the Year, right? And I just want to give you guys the top five candidates. And I'll pick, tell you guys who I think out of these five candidates should be the freshman, or who at least is my freshman player of the year. So at number one, you have Cameron Boozer, obviously Carlos Boozer's son. His biggest performance so far has been 35 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists, and 2 steals. He did that against Arkansas on November the 27th. Now, obviously, Boozer, they obviously have like a top collection of freshmen like they normally do. It's Duke. And Boozer obviously is playing. He's a legacy of Carlos Boozer, so he's doing his thing there. But he could end his college career as one of the most decorated, right? So, and reason why is, he won, 4 state titles in high school. He was a 2-time Gatorade National Player of the Year. And he was a Wooden Award and a trip to the Final Four. Well, a Wooden Award and a trip to the Final Four, would elevate him into, obviously like a different, really a different league of his own. So if he was able to get a Wooden Award and go to the Final Four, that would say a lot. So that's, obviously they have him ranked at number one. Coming in at number 2, they have AJ Diabonsta, obviously from out of BYU. His biggest performance was 43 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists versus Utah. Obviously he is, another guy. He's put up some impressive numbers. He's a great player. Obviously, you just pull his highlights up. It's been insane to watch him. I wish he wasn't going to BYU. I wish he had committed to Alabama. But he's had 8 straight games of at least 20 points, including 3 with at least 35 points, right? And he also had, that doesn't include a performance that he had against Iowa State, where he finished with 29 points and 10 rebounds and 9 assists. So that is the second guy. The next person that I wanted to highlight on this list, actually, let me pull this up because it did not load correctly on my other screen. So let me get that queued up for you guys. We have Darius Acuff, right? And Darius Acuff is point guard out of Arkansas. His biggest performance so far while at Arkansas has been 49 points, 5 assists, and he went 6 of 10 from 3-point range against my Alabama Crimson Tide in a loss in double overtime. That was like the game of the year. If you missed that, man, make sure you go back and watch the highlights because, really, really was the game of the year. I mean, this guy is as advertised. He has all the talent, right? He can hit the big shot. He's not afraid of the big moment. He just, under John Calipari, he's that dude, man. He's averaging 22 points a game, 49%, shooting from the field, 42% just 42.9% from three, so just under 43% from the 3-point line, and 6 assists per game, right? And uh, and what's even more impressive about this is because he's been in and out of a walking boot, right? Uh, Injured his ankle, but still has toughened it out and been out there fighting, with his guys. So, that just goes to show you the toughness of Darius Acuff. At number 4, you have Keaton Wagler at Illinois. His best performance was 46 points, 4 assists, 9 for 11 from 3 versus Purdue. And they're saying that he's arguably the biggest surprise star of the season. He's averaging 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. And the only thing about it is the downside is Illinois has lost 4 of their 6 games in February, but he still managed to score 34 points, and he had 7 assists, right? And he also had 23 points by being guarded by Yaxel Linderborg, which is a tough defender out of Michigan. So putting up 23 points on him is impressive. And last but not least, you have Kingston Flemings, right? He's number 5 on the list. Best performance, 42 points, 6 assists versus Texas Tech. Now, they did have a 40-point win over Colorado on Saturday. Wasn't a big surprise, obviously. I think that, the Cougars, they, even through a 3-game losing streak, he had held his own, right? And, even through the struggles. So I think that he's, obviously capable of being a high-level scorer. He's proven that. He's had 3 games with at least 25 or more points. So, again, those are your 5 top 5 player of the, college basketball freshman of the year candidates. And for me, if I had to pick one out this list, man, I'm going with Darius Acuff. Obviously I'm an SEC guy, but I think Darius Acuff is the fact that he's doing what he's doing and he's been in and out of a boot is insane. No disrespect to Boozer and AJ, obviously, or any of the other guys, but I actually sat there and watched, Acuff do what he did against Alabama. Thank God Alabama got the win, but man, he is one heck of a player. And so he is my, freshman of the year. He may not win it, but if it was up to me, he would be the freshman of the year. So that's, again, no disrespect to the other guys, but I just think that Acuff is what he's doing is just, it's really special to see, especially with the type of injury that he has to his ankle. You just don't see that, right? You typically see guys sit out and, take some games off or some weeks off. And he's like, no, like I want to come out here and compete with my guys. So, shout out to him for showing some mental toughness, right? But that's all I got for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. And again, sticking with me. Very, very excited to continue to cover what's going down in the NFL with the new league year coming up next week, and you got free agency right around the corner. So, and obviously, we got to draft, all those things. But definitely excited to continue to cover that. Make sure you guys, again, prepare yourselves for daylight savings time because we're going to be springing forward this weekend. So prepare for that. Everybody stay safe. Again, appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Until next time, until next week. See y'all next week when we do it all over again, man. Peace, love, be blessed. I'm out.